Okay, in this lecture, I am going to get you all started with the Unit 1 workbook. This is a workbook that has pretty much everything that you need to know for the entirety of Unit 1. This will be a location where you can look at the different vocabulary. You can scroll around in here, you'll be able to see, okay, I've got all these vocabulary on the left-hand side. I've got the lecture that they occur in. So if you want to see, okay, they occur in 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, so on and so forth. And these numbers might change depending on, what semester you're in. So just making you aware of that, so they might be in a slightly different lecture. The major themes. So, like for instance, if you only want to look just at levels of measurement, there's tons of information in here. You're like, oh my goodness, there's just so much information in here, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I only want to study just a few of them at a time, and I'm really struggling with, I don't know, visual representations. So when you have visual representations, it's like, okay, I only want to focus on those so that way I can know, which I kind of want these fixed. I don't know why it's like that, but, I only want to work on visual representations, so I'm going to get rid of everything else. Um, and so I'm going to look at that. Or if you want to look back at everything, you can just unfilter it. So and then qualitative or quantitative formulas. So if you go down with formulas, you notice none of these have formulas, which once again I'm not loving. Hold on, let me just there we go. Formulas. So we're right here in formulas. Let's scroll down, and you'll see, oh, there's a formula right here for mean. So there's a formula for mean, and it says, okay, add up all the occurrences of each individual observation, and then divide it by the count of x. So, yeah, it really should be like, hold on, add up all the individual observations and then divide it by the count of x. There we go. The median, the mode, statistics, parameters, so on and so forth, and more formulas. And so as we go through this, hopefully, you'll feel a lot better about this, and you'll be able to navigate through this very quickly and succinctly. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, you look right here, Unit 1 vocabulary, Unit 1 formula sheet. So if you click right here for the Unit 1 formula sheet, you're going to see the full Unit 1 formula sheet. It's got mode, median, so on and so forth. You get everything that, I handed out in class. And then if you click right here to go back to vocabulary, it goes right back to the vocabulary. And so that's the formula sheet. It's the exact same thing as what I handed out. Actually, it doesn't look like it has the group data, so I guess it's got a little bit less. I might need to update that a little bit. Then let's go on to the Unit 1 Excel formulas. So a lot of individuals may struggle with knowing, hey, what formula do I use for what? When I'm in Excel, what formula do I use for what? And so I've got this set up to say, okay, if you are doing the mean, you need to use that right there. If you're going to do a mode, you're going to use that right there. And notice it's referring to these numbers or these right here, which Excel formulas don't really work for qualitative variables. Okay, but they will work for quantitative variables. So you'll notice the Excel formulas are not in the location where the quantitative variables are, or where the qualitative variables are, but they are where the quantitative variables are. So you can see also, hey, this is the the best chart for this particular variable. Best charts for continuous the type of variable that it is, or the type of data that it is. So therefore, you should use a histogram. This really should say continuous or discrete. Anyway, continuous, or discrete. And so you take a look at these, and years of employment, pay rate, so on and so forth. Those are all continuous. And once again, if we were to count these, they would be discrete. So the count of qualitative variables are discrete, but the variables in and of themselves are not. So if I were to count those all up, they would be discrete. Value of position, what chart they should use for what. Oh, that's why I have that there. So this is all supposed to go together. So what is the best chart for frequency count? What is the best chart for relative frequency? And what is the best chart for value of position? And so you'll notice, hey, we're going to have different charts for different types of data that we're going to have. So that's the overview of that. And then if you look at the bottom, you're going to see, which I'm still in the midst of updating a lot of this stuff. And my goal is to have a video over each one of these. But we're going to have, data over all of these, or we're going to have videos over all of these eventually. And so we already have some of the videos up, and you'll notice if I do have videos, it'll be in this pretty green box, and it'll say, hey, watch the video at these links. So just click on these links when the videos are up. They'll be up and ready for you to go. So that way you're not, clicking all around trying to figure out where it is. And so, just keep on working through this, and as I'm able to finish these, they'll update, and, I might have additional information. So, like, if you click on here, it's going to bring you to a website, and it says, okay, you want to read more information about the empirical rule and Chebyshev's theorem? And so you can read down through there on the empirical rule and Chebyshev's theorem. Okay, dot plot, stem and leaf, box and whisker, so on and so forth. So you can navigate all the different topics down there, and they go through in order of when we go through them in class. And then on the far left-hand side, if you're trying to work through them, if you click on any one of these, like if you click on interquartile range, I don't know why that didn't work. I think I've got to update those still. But if you click on levels of measurement, it'll bring you to that. And if you click on the rest of those, it should bring you exactly to where it is. I think I just have to update them because I think some of the links got broken. So that's the overview of how this works, and feel free to watch these in any order that you want as you feel like you need help with any one of these.